Where is he? Where'd he go?
And we're live.
Oh
Welcome to
shit!
Another
I didn't
episode.
realize we were going.
Welcome to an episode of The Pod with Hadyn Paszkiewicz. I'm Hadyn Paszkiewicz, your host, and we got my boy Bronson here. Normally this would be interview style, but today I feel like we're just gonna be bros and kind of hang out and chat for a little bit. So if you clicked on the podcast, if you clicked on the YouTube video, or wherever you found it, I want to say thank you for actually tuning in. So
Yeah, is this going to be? YouTube, Spotify?
oh, dude,
Everything.
all your major podcast place where you would listen to it. So, like I said, thank you for everyone that clicked on it. So,
Yeah, that
man, there's a fly flying around.
Look at him.
Anyways, we need Mr. Miyagi here. But let's go ahead and start this off with a banger. I have like a whole list of questions that, like, when I'm on the boat, I kind of write down. But first thing I want to ask you is, if you could choose the way that you die, what would it be?
Something badass, like, ooh. It'd be like I'd be like I'd already saved like 40 kids from this hospital. It's burning down, and then I'm going in for the last one. Like huck him over the third-story balcony. He's like falling, gets caught in the pillow thing, and then I just burned to death.
Yeah,
And
and
I'm
they're just like,
oh, he's a hero.
That's the way.
Something like that.
I think if I had to choose how I went out, it'd have to be like some medieval shit, like
Guillotine.
on my own sword.
Oh.
not like seppuku or anything, but like, you know, like you said, kind of the same thing, but like I'd be battling it out like 16th century shit.
No one makes me bleed my own blood.
No one makes me, yeah. And then, you know, I've taken down a bunch of like Vikings or something, and then, you know, I just
Something badass.
It has to be like. So with that being said, like, do you ever have any like manly urges?
Oh yeah. Like fucking. Like we'll define a manly urge actually.
Like you always see those TikToks where it'll be some dude on a bridge and he has this really big rock.
Oh yeah.
And he throws it in the water and everyone's just like, ooh, 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 you know, making monkey noises.
Oh yeah.
Do you ever have any of those?
Oh, 100%. Breaking fucking just anything like bottles and shit. I thought you meant like beating my dick. I was like, yeah, for sure. All the time.
Dude, everyone has that.
No, just breaking shit. That's why I want to go to one of those like destruction rooms.
Dude, we should go to one.
Just destroy shit.
Like, speaking of those, I feel like everyone goes to those with like their girlfriend or,
their
wife or whatever. I feel like that's a place for the bros.
Yeah, the bros got to go. The girl will like, no, dude, give me like a fucking wooden baseball bat, like a slugger, and just like I will full force break shit.
Dude, you get to break TVs. You get to break
it's lit.
Just so many different things.
Well, okay, now to build up on the question that you asked before, what would be the worst? Like, what's the worst way to die? Because you saw that dude like lit himself on fire. Did you see that?
Yeah,
that thing?
That was weird, bro. I saw, not to divert from Bronson's questions, but that got kind of deep. He did that to drag attention to himself because he left it like
a conspiracy, like a manifesto, right?
Yeah. He had like a reason behind it.
He had like he was down the rabbit hole for sure. And I love conspiracies, but I was like,
we'll get into that in a little
I want to
bit.
read. Did you read it, the manifesto?
Yeah, I saw it. So this guy on TikTok, which, okay, if any of you out there, don't get your information from TikTok, but this is from what the guy said, so take it with a grain of salt. He was talking about how he used that, what's it called? Self-emulation or self-embulation?
Embulation or something.
Yeah,
like
embulation. I don't know.
lighting yourself on fire.
Yeah. He used that to bring attention to his manifesto, which was basically him talking about how something really bad is happening in the government, and you guys need to notice this, was the gist of what he said. I don't know the exact details. You guys out there can go look it up for yourself, or you can't. I mean, no one gives a fuck. The dude cooked himself in front of a court trial, which is wild.
Yeah, I thought it was like a crazy just like protester, but I mean, honestly, I read a comment. It was like, I'd rather like light yourself on fire than like shoot up a school or some shit. Like, dude, well, just like, yeah. Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Because he's only hurting himself. Which, okay, it's never okay to hurt yourself. But if you had if you had to weigh the scale, I think it's a whole lot better to hurt yourself rather than hurt a bunch of people to prove a point.
Yeah, but that seems like a terrible way to die. Like burning yourself. I mean, I guess it gets a message across. Like it's metal as fuck.
Oh, dude,
That's
sick.
metal. I gotta give him props.
That's badass.
He went down on his shield, bro.
Yeah, I think he thought someone was gonna stop him.
Yeah,
I could be wrong.
put him out. Like,
Yeah, I think they thought they were gonna douse him, but they didn't.
cook. That would be the worst way.
Dude, can you imagine what that smelled like?
Like ass, or it smelled like delicious. Like,
Dude, if he was a fat guy, it probably. I don't even know what
pork bow. Pork bow. Just
someone's walking down the street. They're like, man, someone's barbecuing.
You know a crackhead that was hungry as shit. Smelled
Yeah,
that
he's
was
like, dude, who's cooking today?
Fuck.
Yeah, but like you said, I think the worst way, or the most fearful way, it would be drowning, which is crazy because I work on water.
Yeah.
Mind you, I work in the harbor, so like I'm never anywhere where I can't swim to land ever. Like even if we go offshore, we're within like usually 3 miles.
Is it like man-made, Doug, or are you?
Yeah. So the Houston Ship Channel, I want to say, dude, they built it 50s, 40s, long.
How deep
time.
is it?
It depends on where you're at. Some parts are deeper than others, but pretty much the whole way, 30 to 50 feet.
Okay, that's pretty deep. I didn't expect it.
But I mean, it's only so wide. Like,
Yeah.
anyone could swim across. I mean, I think anyone could.
Unless you can't swim.
Unless you can't swim. But yeah, I feel like, crashing your car into water and then be like, ooh, it's banging.
Oh,
up.
you know, it fucking suck. Yeah.
Oh, dude, that would be the worst. What would you say would be the worst for you?
Dude, for me, I think falling. Like,
Oh,
not that I'm scared of heights in a sense of like if I'm standing on like an edge of something looking down, like that scares me. Like, but yeah, just like, and not even the actually like falling, but like being in the air, because like I feel like you're able to process like, damn, like I'm about to die, which a lot of times you are, but like you're just falling and you're like, damn, like you see the ground. I think that's the scariest part.
Not to go super morbid on that, but there's like some theory behind, and people who had attempted suicide, which I know that's a really touchy subject.
Oh, and
they say like as soon as you like try it, you regret it.
Yeah,
like you instantly
like that guy that jumped off the Golden Gate Bridge or whatever. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
No,
I
dude.
forget what it's called. It's called like the 1 second later or one.
Yeah.
Or halfway down or 1/3 of the way down. It's some crazy thing, but it makes sense. They all, the people who survived suicide attempts, they say, which I don't know anything about the subject. So if this is like soft to you or soft to anyone who's listening, I don't know what I'm talking about. So don't get offended by what I'm saying. But the people that I listened to, it was a podcast clip. He was talking about anyone who has ever attempted it, they don't try again.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Yeah. No, I mean, I feel like, yeah, like that guy was saying that like right after he jumped, he realized every issue that he was, trying to end was resolvable. And he was like, damn. And like the fucking sea lion, right? Did you hear about that? Like the sea
bumped him up.
Bumped him up.
Dude,
that's crazy. That's
nuts. He thought it was a shark, bro.
That'd be a pretty shitty way to die. Death by like you
Death
jump off
by
you survive the fall.
Dude,
you
okay,
get eaten.
let's talk about
That's so
this.
fucked.
So okay, I'm laughing, but this is terrible. Another TikTok thing, because I spend a good amount.
I think we all. I'm a YouTube Shorts guy.
Yeah, I like YouTube
Pepsi and Coke.
Yeah. But I saw this thing recently where this kid jumped off of a cruise ship.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah, so
on his graduation, right?
I don't know all the details of it, but I know the way he went out was kind of gangster. Dude, I'm not making fun of him, but the way that he did it, it was really rash, and it's not funny. It's not funny at all. But he was just so.
I'm gonna try not to laugh.
Yeah, the first hand account, which was only one guy saw him do it in this big ass cruise ship.
Was there a video?
No.
Okay.
No. I think they would have found him. But basically, his parents were arguing.
Yeah.
And they were just like walking down the hall or whatever, and he like sees this open window or like a part of the balcony where you could look out.
Yeah.
I've never been on a cruise ship, so I don't know how that.
Yeah, they have like.
But the guy said that he saw his parents argue or heard his parents arguing. Looks at his dad and goes, "I'll fix this." runs, jumps off,
Oh my gosh.
which
Never found again, right?
never found again,
Yeah.
dude. They ceased the search after like a week or so, which, dude, no one's gonna survive. a
Yeah,
week in the
no, you're
water.
dead.
Or it was probably less than a week, obviously, but
Oh, the ocean's
yeah,
so big. And,
yeah. And
dude,
what,
oh my gosh.
see, I'm terrified, bro.
I've been on cruise ships, and it is crazy how, like, it's nighttime, and you're just walking around, and you're like, I could jump, and like no one would find you. Like when I went on a cruise for one of my good friends, their bachelor party, and after I got off the cruise, I like Googled it, and there's like since like 1980 or something, there's been like over like I don't know the number, but there's been like
Not a lot.
there's been a bunch. There's been a good
Really?
amount. Yeah, like maybe like 250, but
Yeah, I
like
was gonna say the guy said
just-
less than 300 in the history of cruises.
yeah, but just disappear without a trace. Like don't know. Like there's
Oh,
a couple. There's like oh my god, just like it's just
Dude,
crazy
you saw
stories.
the one last not to talk over you, but you saw the one last summer. That dude jumped over and got demolished by sharks.
Oh yeah, no, that was what I thought you were talking about because there's a video. It was a grad party and he was on like a booze cruise. It wasn't a cruise ship. It was just like a boat.
Oh, that's what that was?
Yeah, it was like a boat. It was like a booze cruise, like kind of what's it called? The boats with like the two pontoon. But yeah, he jumped off.
They took a pontoon out where there's sharks. bro?
Dude, it was something like that, or like a yacht. But yeah, he jumped off and they just never found him again.
Dude, there were. If we're thinking of the same one, that dude got.
Yeah, he got-
tore up.
Yeah, dude, that would be a terrible one
That
to go.
would suck. You know what's funny is me and Will were talking about that. Is which in the moment that would suck, but you're a legend.
Yeah, you are.
Like between you and your homies and everyone who ever talks about you again, they're like, "Oh, dude, that's the guy who got eaten by a shark."
What happened to Mike, dude? He got fucking destroyed by a
Mike
shark.
got crushed. Mike was in 1,000 different pieces, and you see him, and he's just like, "Fucking told you guys."
Fuck you, getting sucked under.
His head gets bit off.
That would be that would be a terrible way though. I think shark, crocodile, bear, death by animal is probably the worst, right?
Yeah, because those are all the ones that will just start eating you. Literally every single one that you just named are animals that don't try and kill you before they eat you. Which sharks, the reason sharks bite you, if anyone has ever watched Shark Week ever, is because they're super curious.
Yeah.
Don't quote me on it, but I feel like I remember them saying their taste buds are in the back of their throat, or
Okay.
like at that way back, and so that's why they bite things because they don't have hands.
Yeah.
they can't go. Oh, what is that?
Yeah, I think
they
would
just bite it.
chomp that hoe.
Yeah, because they're trying to figure out what it is.
Yeah, I saw on like when Joe Rogan had someone on his podcast, they were like, "Oh yeah, sharks don't want to hurt people." It's like, bro, these sharks don't fucking. They're not like, oh, it's a person, I'm not gonna eat it.
Yeah,
They're just gonna bite whatever. I mean, like crocodiles, those things will eat whatever the fuck they want.
crocodiles
That
are some of
scares
the
me.
scariest animals ever.
Real deal
Now-
dinosaur.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is crazy because the American crocodiles, they don't really attack people.
Wha-
Like, dude, I would go way out on a limb and say that there's 0 attacks.
Really?
Like ever.
Because they're
recorded.
more skittish, right?
Yeah, they just kind of chill. They're bros.
But those fucking African crocs and the
Dude, they
the
hunt
saltwater,
people.
those-
There-
yeah.
No, there are recorded instances of them hunting people.
Oh, yeah.
Which is crazy.
I mean, because they've been around for like hundreds of millions of years, and
Yeah, they're like sharks, bro. They've been around forever.
yeah, and they haven't evolved. Like they
Because
stopped
they're
evolving.
perfect.
Yeah, they can just eat whatever, and they'll wait for like a month and just watching like these villagers like go get water, memorize when, and then they'll just
Yeah, I saw something
Insane,
not too
dude.
long ago. I want to say it was like Nat Geo.
yeah
Dude, they will like prop things up on their nose to like
hide themselves.
yeah, to draw things in. They're
Ugh.
that smart. That's what's so crazy is like that's what's so cool about science
Yeah,
is as time goes on, we're finding more and more about like how that one lyric in Something in the Way by Nirvana is like it's okay to eat fish because they don't have any feeling. That we found out recently like fish can
Yeah.
feel
That's
everything. That's for the longest time. That's why people were like okay with eating like vegetarians and stuff were like okay with eating fish and
Yeah.
stuff like that because it doesn't hurt them. They feel it.
So when we were like kids, fucking fishing and shit, like
Oh yeah, those guys they're just getting yanked out. Of the
we would yank them.
I mean, I feel like aggressive fish species like that, which might be wild to say, like I
like
think
tuna or like
yeah, I think it's okay Because I mean, if I catch a tuna, I'm gonna eat the tuna.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I'm saying like bass and stuff. I don't eat bass, but that's a sport fish.
It is, and it's like I don't think that necessarily hurt. I mean, maybe it hurts a little bit. You have a fucking, but there isn't. It's like cartilage around their lips, right?
That's bone.
It's a bone.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
but
fucked.
then like it's like super thick on the cheeks.
Yeah, that's where you get them, right?
Yeah.
I was thinking
Unless
about
they choke it, bro.
that. Yeah, then it's you just cut the
Yeah.
line. It's
Yeah,
like
you kill them.
fucking good luck.
That's
Yeah.
fucked.
But I've been wanting to fish recently. Now that I'm like
Dude,
back in
primal, man.
Houston. Yeah, that's like barefoot. Like I try to like. You ever heard of grounding when you just like
Dude,
barefoot
I've
on the
never
grass?
done it because my dogs take like massive shits.
Oh yeah,
in
you
my
know it's hard in my
backyard.
backyard.
But
too.
I want to do that more. I was telling Will, shout out Will, we were on a walk at work and I was like, dude, I've just been having this urge to just like lay in the grass.
Yeah.
Do you ever get that?
Oh yeah, no, like, dude, go outside barefoot and stand in the grass, and like, it just feels like, spread your toes out. You're like, fuck this. It just feels so good.
You're supposed to do it first thing in the morning.
Yeah, I'm not like I eat breakfast in the morning. I should do it and go outside. I try to get some sun, but
They
it's
say
just it's such a
direct
good way.
sunlight.
Yeah, on your like butthole too.
Butthole sunning. If anyone's done
That's a
it,
thing, right?
Dude,
I've never done it.
What's crazy is when you first started seeing it, or when I first started seeing it, it seemed like a meme.
Yeah.
But then there was like people who do it.
Oh no, it's like, and I can see. I mean, unless you get a sunburn, like that would fucking
Dude,
suck.
I was
but-
gonna say, can you imagine a sunburnt asshole?
oh my god.
Like, dude,
Well, it's like I don't know. I just feel like nowadays there's so much like artificial shit that can fuck with like because at the end of the day, like we're monkeys on this fucking rock. Like we're not like it's like even we should be in the wild. And I always tell my girlfriend this. She's like, because when I eat an apple, I eat the whole fucking thing, like core and all.
core?
I eat the whole thing, and like
you know,
well-
apple seeds have like, which mind you have to eat a shitload, like a truck full.
cyanide, right?
Cyanide,
Yeah. No,
yeah.
I eat the whole thing, seeds and all, because I'm like, fuck it. I mean, in the wild, like when you're hungry as
You're not
shit, you're not.
wasting that shit.
Yes, and I'm like, and like
There's
that's
fiber in there, bro.
there is. I will eat the whole apple
So
every
when
time.
you eat an orange, are you eating the orange skin?
No, I don't eat the orange skin because that tastes
Oh,
like
so you're not.
ass. But a kiwi, I'll eat the whole kiwi
Dude,
with the skin.
I love kiwi. Kiwi's
So
actually my
good.
favorite fruit besides like a raspberry. But kiwi skin makes my
Your tongue?
mouth itch.
Yeah, no, it does. It's I think it's because I've been doing it. Like I will literally like I'll eat them like an apple, like just grub them.
You know, kiwi is like the most nutrient dense fruit. Besides,
Is it really?
There's another one called black currant, but they don't really have them in the U.S. I want to say they're native to like New Zealand. Anyone out there can fact check me.
Are those the fleshy ones, like
no,
the
no,
white?
no, black currant. It looks just like a or black currant. I don't know how you say it, but
Yeah.
it's just like a little berry. It kind of looks like a blueberry.
Mm-hmm.
Most nutrient dense fruit in the world, but kiwis are just below it. Kiwis have like 3 times or 5 times the amount of vitamin C than than an orange.
I mean, shit. I will say, like after like 5 or 6 kiwis, your tongue starts to. It's like eating like a fucking
Okay, you're
bag
eating
of.
5 or 6.
Dude,
kiwis
I'll
in
eat like
one?
7 or 8. Dude, they're so good.
You might be like full monkey. Dude, you're like that one gorilla in the corner of the enclosure, and he's just been hogging everyone else's fruit. He's just
I mean,
grabbing
bro, we're monkeys.
5 or 6 kiwis. I bet you
yeah.
shit. You're like a goose.
Oh yeah, no, it's bad. But like, yeah, dude, it's like, and I'll cut them up sometimes. But because when I used to work at a grocery store during COVID,
Harvest Market.
yeah, I would just like
Damn,
just
I
sneak
didn't know you worked at Harvest Market.
Yeah, I worked there with Peach. Yeah, and I
Sweet.
would just fucking snag it. Like I'd be on my like working, and I'd literally just pocket a kiwi and just go in the back, and like I can't cut it up on the J. That's how I started doing it. And just fucking one bite that bitch. My manager would walk in. I'm just like,
That's like eating a whole hard boiled egg.
oh yeah, I've never done that.
but-
I actually don't like hard boiled like the yolk. I'll eat the white part around
Dude,
it.
have you ever had a soft boiled egg?
No, what is that?
Oh, do you like runny yolk?
I do like runny yolk. Yeah.
So a soft boiled egg, you cook it for a little bit less time, and you halt it in frozen water, or not frozen water, in ice water, like
Yeah.
you would normally do a hard boiled egg. But then you put that on like ramen, and so you cut it. And
Oh, and it.
dude, I sounded like I had a speech impediment for a second. You cut it, and then like the yolk runs out.
runs in?
Oh, dude, have
I'll-
you ever been to like a ramen bar?
Oh yeah, but
Dude,
like
I've never been.
You never been to one?
No.
Oh my god, in Austin, Ramen Tatsuya, place fucking slaps, and they have like, they call them 100-hour eggs where they've been like in the broth for like 100
Are
hours.
those the soy sauce eggs or whatever?
They're like, they're
Or
like
it's just it's been in
it's been in the broth. Like when you cut it open, it's like it's the white part is like brown fully through, and oh my gosh, dude, it's probably what you're talking about. The
That's
yolk
like-
is still runny, and
Yeah,
I don't know
it's like
how.
soy eggs.
It's delicious.
It's
But
because of the way they cook them. Dude,
I've-
food is so good.
oh yeah,
I know dude, wow, that audio probably sounded really bad. I adjusted my mic. But we were just talking about animals. Do you have any like non-traditional animal fears?
like what do you mean?
I'm terrified of horses, bro.
Really?
I hate horses.
Those are pretty fucking scary.
Which is crazy because my wife wants horses and cattle, which I'm cool with cattle. I love cattle. They're the coolest things ever. But horses, I think it's the fact that they're so smart
Yeah, they are.
that I can't do it.
Like getting bucked off, or like just in
Nah,
general,
dude,
like them biting you.
I mean, like that would suck, but it's the fact that like they can feel your emotions when you're on them. Like,
Oh, yeah.
They know when you're scared.
Really?
Yeah,
I did not
and
know
they're
that.
so smart that they will fuck with you, bro.
Huh. That's why you have to break them in, right? You got to break them and let them know that you're the
Gotta
fucking.
break you a rank bronc, bro. Which is cool. It's so crazy because like I think everyone's had their like cowboy phase. I don't know if you ever went through a cowboy phase, but like
Nah, probably not.
most of the boys went through the.
I went through my skater phase.
You did go through a skater phase.
You either go cowboy or skater, or now it's like
No,
merging together, dude.
yeah, a little bit.
Well, I mean, like.
And I wanted to be a cowboy.
Okay, so
bad.
yeah.
And I had never ridden a horse. And we go to Colorado for Amanda's family's family vacation. They take a big family vacation. In each, like her aunt and uncle pick one year, her grandparents pick one year,
that's
her
sick.
and so they rotate. So it's never the same place twice. But we're in Colorado, badass place,
Yeah.
right? Just up in the mountains, up near Pikes Peak. If you ever heard of Pikes Peak,
I feel like I have.
and
Where the gold miners were?
dude, yeah, so
Really? Okay.
we go to this place where you can ride horses, and I'm not the biggest guy ever, but they were like, "Oh, dude," playing me up. They're like, "Oh, you're big, so you got to get on this horse named Chavez." Massive quarter horse, bro. Which
With like the fur over the hooves? Or
no,
thinking of a,
that's a Clydesdale.
that's
bro.
a fucking
Okay,
big horse.
dude. I would never. That's a scary animal.
I've never seen one in person. Are they fucking
Dude,
massive?
so we used to have, not to divert from my
Yeah.
story, but we used to have Mardi Gras. If you live in the South and you're listening to this, Mardi Gras is like a big deal. But in Port Arthur, they would have Mardi Gras and like Budweiser. So like Budweiser's thing is the Budweiser
Yeah, the Clydesdale.
Clydesdales. Dude, they would bring them down,
That's fucking crazy.
and those motherfuckers are massive.
Like to put them in comparison, like what are they like how big are they? Like what? It's like a minivan. Like how tall are they?
Yeah,
Really?
every bit of it.
Oh my god.
Every bit of it.
Holy fuck. Okay, well, continue.
Can you
your story.
imagine ride? I don't think people ride those though.
I think they pull.
That's a chariot horse.
Yeah.
Like that thing is meant to work.
Those things are fucking crazy. And the evolution, like how did those evolve to like be so big?
Well, I think we selective breeded those.
Oh, okay.
I
so
don't,
it's
I don't
like,
think those
it's
were
not
like
okay.
like a natural
Like,
like
fucking.
this just massive horse that's just like the king of all the horses.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think that's a people thing.
That's wild.
But anyways, back to the Colorado deal. We go to this place. It has this badass trail and it has like old mining shacks and stuff. But anyways, I get on this big ass horse and he's a dick. And they
His
were
name's
like,
Chavez?
Yeah. They're like, they kept calling him Chavi and stuff. And like, what's the one thing that tells you when horses are mad?
I don't know.
Their ears are back.
Oh, really?
If their ears are back, they're pissed, bro. And I'm riding him, and he can tell that I'm scared. 'Cause
Yeah.
one, it's my first time ever riding a horse, so I'm
Yeah.
not just like, oh, naturally, let me get on.
Yeah,
this
you're
thing.
like, fuck.
And I'm freaking out, and he can tell. So he keeps. I have my feet in the stirrups, and he keeps like trying to reach his head back and bite. And so for that whole like 45 1-hour trail ride, I'm geeked, bro. And I'm just like, this horse. No.
Yeah.
So that's where my irrational fear of horses.
No,
came
dude. I
from.
mean, that's valid. Those things are. And if they kick you, bro, they'll fucking just. You hit you in the face, you're done.
Dude, that's like mares. So the female horses called mares. I've seen videos on YouTube where a mare like won't be in heat, or maybe will be in heat, and then a stallion tries to come like, hook up with her, and she'll kick them in the face, dead.
Yeah. It's crazy. And they'll.
Dead. Now that's a horse. That's a giant animal. Imagine what happens to you.
Yeah, you're just done. I would never walk behind one though. Like I don't have a fear of horses, but like they're a fearful. You have to
You
respect
respect them.
Yeah. I don't know if there's an animal that like I mean, I fucking hate bugs just because like they're just creepy to me. Like I think
I have a funny story.
oh my god, like think about if a bug was like a spider, even if it was like the size of like a chihuahua, bro. Think about how fucking scary that would be. Like a spider. Like
Have you ever seen camel spiders?
no, do they have that already?
Dude, so they have these, and
Was
they're
that
not
on,
even
was that on the
really-
last update that I missed?
Yeah, did you miss the software update? No, they have these big ass, I think they're called camel spiders
I feel like
in the Middle East, so like Iraq, Afghanistan, that
Oh my
area.
fuck.
And the thing about them is they're not like super aggressive,
Okay.
but they're just alien scary looking, and they're big like that. And so
Fuck
they
that.
people thought that they would chase soldiers, but the truth is they're nocturnal, so they want to stay in the darkness. So like they would be chasing quote unquote soldiers because they're trying to stay in their shadow because they don't want to be
oh,
in the light. But dude, those things are, you got to look them up.
oh my
go
god,
ahead and
yeah.
look
Let me
it-
see.
look it
Let
up.
me see if we can
I'm
fucking
gonna
pull it
put
up.
my phone on D&D anyways.
I'm about
but
to say,
dude,
do we
once
have the
you-
timer going for the?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
We have a few more minutes till I need to.
Let me see. Camel spider.
Yeah, yeah.
Turn my fucking. Oh
Dude,
my
just wait till you see that
god.
thing.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's like otherworldly. Like, is it this thing right there?
Yes.
Oh my.
Yeah.
God.
If you're at home,
Look it up.
check out a camel spider. But
Like that thing, but like, because I mean, in the past, like, wasn't there a period of time where like the oxygen levels were so high in Earth that like everything was just massive,
it was bigger.
and like the fucking bugs were like, dude, I just think like, thank God those fuckers are so small now.
Yeah,
'cause,
it's like yeah, people that are going, they're like, oh, if we could go back in time, I think I would go see the dinosaurs.
fuck
Hell no.
fuck no.
You'd last 2 seconds.
Yeah, you'd immediately get eat. Like I feel like that was like the epitome of like Darwinism. Like everything was just fucking battling it out. There was no, like think about a praying mantis the size of like a horse. Like that would fuck up, and we didn't have modern guns and shit. Like that would just. I don't think we'd be able to beat those fuckers. They're so quick and they're just and they eat your head first.
We have them at the ranch, bro. And
Oh my fuck, my fuck! I thought that was
dude, you're on edge.
I am, bro.
You're on edge.
Okay, yeah. What
But
was your story
we
about
have-
bugs?
We have. Oh, okay,
Is that what you're
I'll
gonna
tell you-
say?
I'll tell you. No, I'll
Okay.
tell you that story. So, in Houston, we have the Natural Science Museum, and I'm sure they have these.
I love
type
that
of
museum. Fire
Museums
museum.
all over the United States, but at our Natural Science Museum, they have a butterfly exhibit.
Oh yeah, yeah. You can go in right, and they're flying.
Yeah. Fuck that.
What?
Dude, so one time when I was a kid, I had just moved to Houston, and I moved to Houston when I was 12, turning 12, right before I turned 12. So it was around that time. And my parents take me and my little sister to the Natural Science Museum. We go into the butterfly exhibit. Dude, those things try and land on you, bro. And the one thing they say is like, do not touch them.
Yeah.
Bro, this big ass moth, I swatted the shit out of
You
it.
murdered it?
I'm pretty sure.
No.
And
It's like a rare, like fucking.
I don't know if it was rare, but bro, it was coming at me, and I just weaved smack because it's just natural instinct.
Oh yeah, no. Wait, is that Natural Science or is it Moody Gardens?
No, they have it.
They have it
we
both?
went to Moody Gardens
Because I've been to the Moody Gardens one. I don't know if I've been to the Natural
Yeah,
Science.
they have them at the Natural Science.
That's a cool
Museum.
museum.
Dude. It's awesome. I think Amanda and I are gonna go next time I'm off.
Yeah, no, that's a great. I'd love to. I need to take Lindsay there.
Dude, I think museums are so sick.
they're fun. They're super fun. I went to a couple in Europe that were like fucking just artifacts from like there was like books written in like the year like 800.
That is crazy to
That's
me.
weird.
Have you ever tried to wrap your head around shit like that?
I try, but like there's just so much like I don't know. I'm a big, not conspiracy. I mean, I'd say conspiracy theorist. That's connotative. I like try to. I think there's two sides to everything, and I think the way that history was written, like in textbooks and shit, is a lot different.
It's
than,
wrong. They
than
alter it. They're speaking of, there's literally documented, like what's happening right now. Not to get political with it, but like you remember the Trail of Tears,
Yeah.
like where they made all the natives walk.
Yeah.
They took that out of textbooks.
Oh, they took it out. That's fucked.
That's a instance that has happened in our lifetime.
Yeah.
Of them altering history.
Yeah.
And then kids, unless they go search for that, they're
Yeah.
never gonna find it. Let me go switch the
Yeah.
camera real quick. So yeah, like I said, if kids never seek that information out on their own,
Yeah.
they're never gonna find that. And that
Exactly.
is so scary to think about. So like,
Ugh.
think about all the things that they've probably hidden from. Like, that were in our parents' textbooks or their parents' textbooks that
Yeah.
that never got to us.
I mean, that's like I don't know. I think that I don't know. I think what do they say? Like humans started like 40,000 years ago or something.
I don't know that exact number.
I think there's something where they, or maybe like modern civilization or something like 10,000 years. Like I think, and this is obviously not a lot of background information, but
No, this is just what you think. Bro.
yeah, I mean, this is just like, I think that fucking there's been multiple, like we've lost so much technology in the past through like either war or, I mean, like with the Library of Victoria or whatever.
What's that?
I think I might be saying it right. I think it's called the Library of Victoria, but it was like it was like a library in ancient Rome that had like history from like, back then, which was already, thousands and thousands of years ago. It had history from way before that, like ancient technologies and stuff that burned down.
Babylon, stuff like that.
Exactly. And that's like, I think that's one of the big events in human history, that library burning down. We lost so much because, I mean, back then there was no computer. It was all written. Everything was written history. I mean, there's oral history that's passed down, but that can get altered. But
It's like a game of telephone.
yeah, it's like thinking about like the Egyptians building the pyramids. And I'm not saying aliens did it, but I think there was a level of like technology that we don't really have anymore that helped build those sorts of structures and shit. Like, bro, if you go to Europe and you see some of the churches that were built like thousands of years
Those
ago,
cathedrals, bro.
you're like, bro, what? Without
so
fucking
for Amanda and I's,
crazy.
Honeymoon. You know, we went to Italy.
Yeah.
And one of the first places, the first city we went to was Rome.
Was that
And it is-
I've never been.
It is overwhelming.
That's
how
insane.
cool it is. Which, mind you, I mean, a lot of it in the main cities is renovated, but like the streets and stuff
Yeah.
are still like
Still the
cobblestone streets, and then you go to the historical.
Did you go to like the Colosseum?
Oh, dude,
and
I
shit?
went to the Colosseum. I went to the Pantheon. I just like went around the city, and like when you see the Colosseum, you get this, at least for me, because it's interesting for me, which my family lineage is Italian, so that's also cool for me.
Yeah.
You look at that and you're like, dude, people were fighting to the death.
That's wild.
And then 2,000 years ago,
Yeah.
people, this is where they came to watch. That would be like a sporting event.
That was like UFC back then.
Yeah.
You
But,
got
like,
money on
way-
Lucius or Caesar.
Dude, did you know they flooded that thing? I always tell people this.
Wait, they flooded it?
So they would have ship battles. This is what I was about to get into, is like, dude, we think that these people weren't as smart as us. Like, it's real easy to think, oh, because we have computers and phones and stuff like this, that we are that much smart. No.
Yeah.
Dude, the gap between their knowledge and ours is not that big.
Yeah. I mean, if anything, I feel like they were more sound with like arithmetic, and I mean, maybe not, but they flooded the Colosseum and like fought.
Dude, there are aqueducts, however you say that word, that they still use from Roman times.
That's wild.
That means that they did such a good job thousands of years ago, and that's not even an exaggeration, thousands of years ago, that they still use what they're using.
I mean, I just feel like back then, even like today's history, like stuff that's built 100 years ago, like quality shit. Like nowadays, it's very hard to come across like quality, unless you're buying. I don't know.
You hear that's the downside of like capitalism, is like everyone's trying to make a dollar.
Yeah.
Right. Back then they were like, dude, I'm making my legacy. I don't care about the monetary value of it. But I want to say it was the main companies who were making light bulbs. So you always hear that term, especially from like our parents or like even your grandparents. Oh, they don't make them like they used to.
Yeah.
Well, where that comes from is, like I said, it was the inventors of the light, or the companies who produced light bulbs. Dude, when they first made the light bulb, it was perfect. It would never go out. As a matter of fact, they have a light bulb from that time that is still on.
What the fuck? How? Is like the
you
filament just doesn't.
Yeah, they made the filament so perfect and the light bulb so perfect that it would never break. And they were like, oh shit, we're not going to make any money from this. So they purposely made them shittier.
No way.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like the fucking iPhone. Like you know, after 2 years, your phone like becomes fucking a brick, pretty much. Like I'm getting to that point with this one where stuff just isn't working the same. It's slow.
Well, that's they claim. I don't
I
know
know
if
that's a
you're.
conspiracy in itself.
Well,
too.
no, I mean, do you remember the? I want to say it was a lawsuit around either 2019, 2020, one of those that time period where everyone's like, "Hey, man, my phone's slowing the fuck down after X amount of years. What's going on?" And so they put out this. Apple puts out this whole thing, which if you think about it logically, it makes sense, right? They're as any company would want to. You're trying to innovate
Yeah,
at all times,
makes sense.
and because of the better software, it's the older hardware can't handle it. And
Yeah.
so because the main complaint always is the battery,
Yeah,
right? Which a lot of times that's our fault. Like if you leave your phone charging all night, like
yeah,
you're asking for that thing to
that's
get,
true. I'm a
ruined.
big. I do that.
I do it.
But they have like the optimal battery thing where it'll like you plug it in.
Now?
Yeah. Actually, this my phone is like so far back. I just won't update it because I know if I do, it's gonna become and it works.
What software are you on?
I'm should I have the home button? No, I'm kidding. I don't know.
I still
I'm on.
this thing still scans my finger to get into.
What are we on right now?
Dude, actually, I did just update.
I think we're on the 17, iOS 17.
We got to be on 17.
I'm on like probably fucking 15.
Let's see. So we're on 17.4.1.
Yeah, I'm 15.5 on this one. But
Dude,
it's
you're
fine.
living
I
in
mean,
the Stone Age.
oh no,
bro.
it literally like when people edit the messages instead of like actually just change it, like, it says it'll send a whole new message like edited. It's wild.
Really?
I'm like fuck it. I mean, it doesn't bother me.
Yeah, I guess it's just one of those things that
just gotta live with
you
it.
don't care about.
Yeah, I'm
Dude,
writing
that's
this
something
image.
that I'm so bad about. Like
What?
things like that, like updating a phone. Like
Yeah.
I'm like I gotta do it.
And I was like that until I fucking so many times because like I'm on my parents' plan and like I'm not bugging them about getting a new phone because obviously I'm just thankful that I'm not paying for it. So I'm just like I'm gonna ride this bitch until I
This
can.
thing goes kaput.
Literally, and I mean, dude, this thing's getting old. But yeah, you update your phone and you'll immediately notice it's slower. Also, I noticed that autocorrect like doesn't work. This like there'll be like my phone like autocorrect is ass, and I'll be on my mom or my sister's phone and it'll work. I don't know if that's a thing they do.
Dude,
I don't
it's
know.
crazy that you say that because I feel like I've noticed that too, and I don't know if that's me just like being like, hell yeah, you know that?
Yeah,
But dude, yeah, I feel like sometimes like I'll be back in the day, like OG iPhones.
yeah,
The autocorrect was money,
Oh, it was
which was
perfect.
annoying.
yeah.
But it was money because you were trying to text like bad as a kid.
Just
You know?
fucked up shit.
Like
yeah.
let me misspell something real quick.
Yeah,
And decided to try and be cool.
you're the most
but
elegant texter. You're like, fuck.
yeah, you didn't want to like you were like, oh, I'm never gonna use periods.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna capitalize anything. Yeah, stuff like that.
You were the first one that I remember that like would always text with the first letter being not capital, and I didn't realize that it was like a fucking setting. So I would like literally like have to like like fucking edit like make it so like my first like I'd have to because automatically I would uncapitalize it.
Yeah.
I'm like, is Hayden do this every fucking time? Like,
Nah, dude.
yeah, and you gave me the sauce, and then I was
No,
like, yeah,
that's just another thing that I remember a cool setting that I really like. I don't know why. Is there's a setting where you can make it to where it has unknown senders and known senders, and so it'll filter out your messages. So like if
Really?
you ever get like stupid ass like spam texts from like you go to like a coffee shop, and they're like, hey, do you want to put in your number for points?
yeah, fuck
It'll
it.
like filter that shit.
Okay.
Out. Yeah. Which
Yeah.
is sick.
I mean, shit, I get spam calls. That's why I turned the spam thing on.
Yeah, dude, you're the king of the Indian spam call
know.
center.
I know.
They have you on a whiteboard, and they're like, "How do we take this
How do we get
motherfucker
this
down?"
fucker?
They don't even know your name.
They don't. I'm like what do they call fucking John Wick, the Babadook or whatever the
You're
fuck.
the Baba Yaga.
The Baba Yaga.
You're the Baba Yaga of the Indian call center, bro. No, you're the ghost of Kiev. Remember from the beginning of that Ukraine war, like what they had that. Which, dude, it has to be propaganda.
What, the Ukraine war?
No, that's real. I mean, it's happening.
Shit's fake.
Yeah, dude, it's all AI. But no, remember the Ukrainians said they had this one fighter pilot that was just like fucking up the Russians.
Oh yeah.
And they called him the Ghost of Kiev.
I do remember that. That would be the most badass. Like, I know I want to be a pilot.
Well, that's you, dude. You're taking down.
Oh my god, dude! Like
goddamn,
flying an F-22, just fucking cooking, or a warthog with the. Oh my god, that'd be so sick.
Hitting with the Bert.
With the. Brr, brr. Oh
No,
my
like,
god. Yeah, that's what it is. It's
Yeah.
like they're shooting like 100 rounds a second or some
Dude.
shit.
Yeah.
That's wild.
They
That's
say if you hear it, it wasn't meant for you.
yeah.
That's cold.
That's crazy. And those dudes are just like, so it's funny because me and my dad were talking about this. People think that the F-16 is like the ultimate fighter like plane, but like
I think
look
we
up,
have a better one
it's
now.
the F-22. Look it up,
Yeah.
dude. That thing does some maneuvers which are in like you're probably pulling like 10 G's, like, and oh my god, like, and they can take off from stationary, like the propulsion system will turn,
It's
and
like a
they'll
bucket.
yeah, they'll just lift up and then fucking dude, those things are insane. I think it'd be so cool to fly, but
That's like the Blackbird, bro. So they've probably had that for a while.
yeah, if they're releasing it to the
Dude, we've like the story that makes me think of that is the Blackbird. Remember the big ass UAV?
yeah,
Dude, they had it for like 30 years before they announced it.
the B2, the bomber, or like the
I think it was the
What's-
B2, but
is
it was, dude, it was something that like was like space age, and they're like, oh yeah, we made that in the fucking
Oh, yeah.
60s.
yeah, like you ever see the B2 bombers flying? They're like they look like this, like the plane is like the ones that fly so high, like you can't.
Yeah,
like
they're
a-
undetectable by radar.
Yeah, those things are, and they look like spaceships, and it's like, shit. If I was fucking walking down the street,
Aliens,
I'd
bro.
100%. I'd be like, that's a fucking UFO. And I mean, I don't know, bro.
That's like you talk to some people, and because you know who Bob Lazar is.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Dude, he is so consistent with his story.
Yeah, I think he's telling the truth.
And
I mean,
people who lie will always have kinks in their story.
yeah,
That's how you pick up on someone lying.
yeah,
And I learned this tactic too, completely off topic. They say if you know someone's lying, you keep making eye contact with them
yeah,
and try and get them to keep telling, and they'll crack.
yeah,
But yeah, if you look into Bob Lazar, like he talked about that. He's like, this is where these people are learning their
Yeah.
stuff. This is where they're getting ideas for this stuff.
No, it's insane. I mean, and it's just crazy because like, I don't know. I wish there was. You can't know for sure. I mean, obviously his story has no kinks. You know, has evidence that he worked at what was the
Los Alamos.
Los Alamos.
He does, but then they like completely erased it.
Yeah,
Which is crazy because that's another thing. It's like, hey man, y'all wouldn't have acted like this
yeah.
had I not been right.
And it's
Dude,
like,
they removed him from whatever school was it? MIT.
yeah, he'd gone to fucking Ivy League. Yeah,
Yeah,
and there's no doubt that the guy's a smart guy.
duh.
And like that, what was that element that he discovered that?
And then 20 years later, they find it.
yeah, like he had talked about it, and then
They find it in Russia or whatever.
yeah, I mean, it's like, I don't know. It just, it's crazy because it's like, if he is right, you know, he's talking about the U.S. having like unidentified spacecrafts from fucking Egyptian. Like he said that one of them they dug up, excavated it. Like that's fuck, and that's what I mean. Like, who knows what the fuck history that's been
Dude,
buried?
speaking of excavating shit, which you'll have to look into this story, but I heard about this guy in Australia. I want to say he was like a treasure hunter. This dude was like real life Indiana Jones.
That's fucking sick.
gangster.
Yeah.
So cool. That would be like such a fun,
Oh yeah,
like, which I mean, it's not making you anything unless you make your big discovery.
yeah,
But he had basically researched this shipwreck forever, and he found out where it was, and it had a ton of gold on it.
really.
And this dumbass lets the government know, and they took all of it.
No, how much was it?
Millions and millions.
No.
Yeah, dude, if I ever come across something like that, dude, if I find a bale of cocaine floating in the ocean, I'm not telling anyone.
I'm gonna be at the Shell station paying for my gas and gold. I mean, how the fuck does this fucker have gold coins?
Flipping.
How would you like transfer that into currency? Do you just keep the gold? Because obviously,
I think you would have to do something to clean it. It's just like,
are you going to that dude on? You going to Icebox and they're gonna melt it down and give you a check? Like where? Like
dude, that's just like, have you ever watched Outer Banks?
yeah,
That's like when they find the gold and that dude goes to the pawn shop with that big ass hunk of like melted gold.
yeah,
And they're like, where'd you get this? I think it'd be a same situation.
yeah. You'd have to. I feel like laundering that money would be just as fucking hard as
Isn't
finding
it
it.
crazy how money makes people do terrible things?
No,
like
it's
that?
wild.
People will kill you over some gold coins.
Yeah, no, it's crazy, and it's like fucking what's that YouTube channel that does all like the challenges? There's one that they did recently where they had like 10 people in a room and they had to argue about who got the $1,000 prize. Oh my god, I couldn't even get through like 2 minutes of the video. Like, this is just so fucking
For
toxic.
$1,000, dude.
And they're like fighting over it. It's yeah. I mean, I saw a quote that was like, "Money doesn't change people; it gives them the power to be who they truly are." So if you're like a shitty person, then like, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, money's power, man.
I feel like the more money that I end up with, the more I want to like use it on those that I care about. Like
Yeah.
something that I'm like, I do all the time. And this is why I'm glad I don't drink. Is like if we're out, like, which you haven't been to the ranch yet, but like anytime we're at the ranch, I'm like buying everyone everything.
Yeah.
Especially if we like go out to eat or we go get coffee.
Oh,
or,
I'm
like,
definitely gonna go now. That was it.
yeah, I told you.
I'm kidding.
I like, and to me, it's like, I'm showing you that I appreciate you. It's not like
Yeah.
I'm trying to buy you, but
That's like
dude,
your
I
that's
got
your
it.
that's your love language. Gift.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that
gift
and
giving.
cooking, bro.
Yeah.
I fucking love cooking for
Oh yeah.
everyone.
No, that's how Lindsay's love language is the same. It's giving and I mean cooking kind of goes into. I don't know if there's like a certain amount of love languages. I know mine's like
I think there's 5.
mine's probably like physical touch, and I'm a big cuddler. I love cuddling. It's
I do to an extent. But when I'm sleeping,
no Diddy.
no dude. Yeah. When I'm sleeping, like, dude, women are like they emit heat.
They do.
And I like to be cold.
I do too, but like
So Amanda and I, like, when we first fall asleep, we'll be cuddling, and I wake up and I'm on the opposite.
oh yeah, no, there's a certain point, yeah.
So naturally.
Yeah, and but yeah, gift giving, like, yeah, I mean I don't know all the love languages. I wish I did, but yeah, I mean, money just gives you the ability to be who you truly are. So if you're a good person, you like giving, like when you get a bunch of money, you want to give it. If you know, I don't know, it's weird because there's so many stories and fables about that, but I don't know. I'd like to think that if I got $1 billion, I wouldn't be a jackass with it, but part of me thinks I'd probably fucking do some stupid shit.
That's what I was about to ask you. If you got a notification on your phone right now from whoever you bank with, and it's like $1 million has been deposited.
1 million?
What's the first thing? Which that's really not that much money. We've been conditioned from the time we were kids to think, oh, $1 million, which, mind you, inflation's kind of fucked right now.
Yeah.
So it really isn't that much money. But it's actually, I mean, people break it down how easy it would be
Yeah.
mathematically to make it. But so if you got a notification right now that says you've just been, or $1 million has just been deposited into your checking account, what's the first thing you do?
I got to give my parents some for sure. I don't know how much. I'd pay off their mortgage, probably give them like another 200 grand, probably. And then.
So you're blowing half. No,
I'm not blowing half. I mean, shit. I think average the cost of raising a kid's like in the 250, 300,000.
They
right?
say it's like 300 grand now, 0 to 18.
Yeah. I mean,
That's wild.
that's crazy. I mean, I think I'd give my parents around 300,000 just for raising me and everything. And then, I don't know. I mean, like, that's something where you really have to sit down and like, I want to invest some. I want to obviously probably buy a property so I'm not renting.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have a house, like that's a huge financial step that you take. Buy a watch.
A watch? What kind of watch?
A Rolex, probably like just a Submariner, like a little.
Just a Submariner.
Just
That's
a little
10,000.
10,000.
Expensive.
I'm a millionaire. I mean, what?
Yeah, I'm a millionaire now, dude.
What would you buy?
I think same as you. Like I don't think I'm chucking my parents any bread, but
You also are more self-made.
yeah.
I think I was
I
provided.
mean, don't get me wrong. Like because of my dad, I have my job, and that's afforded me a lot of things. So
Yeah.
it's not like my parents haven't helped me with anything.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'm chucking them any bread still.
Give him a little 50 piece. A little 50.
I might. Well, I'd buy my dad like.
Or put a little trust for Daxton.
No, dude, Daxton already has. Okay, let's go into this real quick. So the way, and it's just because he's like, I'm really not.
This
mad
is
about it.
Hayden's little younger
Yeah,
brother.
my little
by the
brother
way.
Daxton. He's 6 years old, or about to be 6 years old in June. Yeah. So my parents set up their will not too long ago, and so it's my sister, myself, and Daxton. Daxton's gonna be 6, so he's under 18. Harley and I are both above 21, adults.
Yeah.
So the way they set the will up is Daxton gets until he's 18. If my parents were to suddenly die, he'd get 50%, and then Harley and I split 25-25.
I mean, It makes sense because he would have to.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
why I wasn't like when they told me that they were like, "Oh, don't be pissed off." I'm
Yeah.
like, one, y'all aren't gonna die before he's 18,
Yeah.
and God forbid,
Yeah.
and two, like, I don't need,
Yeah, I don't need it, yeah.
need your money.
Which is a good thing to, like, good, feeling to
Yeah.
have.
Yeah, so I would first thing I do, I'm paying off all my debts. Like I'm obviously paying off my home, my car, and then any debts that Amanda might have, which I don't think she has any. School loans, which dude, I don't owe anything for school. Thank God, dude.
Yeah.
And I did 3 years of college.
Oh, you don't have any
Nothing.
loans? You paid for it?
No. So but
you
I
paid it off?
only had no. I went to UHD, so it was super cheap. So I only owe like I think $12,000.
Yeah, I mean, that's not.
Which I could pay it off right now if I wanted to, but that's one of those things I'm like, man, fuck.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd pay off all that. So after that, dude, I'd still have like 800 bands. And then I'm buying like, I don't know, 50, 100 acres.
Yeah.
Somewhere in
West Texas?
in a
or-
part of Texas that I'm familiar with the terrain enough to where I could like farm on it, have animals, and like
but
sustain.
You're staying in Texas for sure?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I ain't going anywhere.
That's
And then I
staying.
would travel a little bit on the rest of the money.
Yeah. And obviously, investments, whatnot.
Yeah.
Um,
You
but
can
yeah.
make your money make money.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. I mean, especially having that. I mean, it takes money to make money. But yeah, you brought up student loans. If anybody here is thinking about becoming a pilot, that's the path I'm taking. It is a fucking expensive schooling. So I'd probably use it's usually about $100,000,
Yeah.
give or take, 60 to 100, I think, depending on how you do it. But I'm using money to do that because there's people out there, like the flight loans that they do through like Sally Mae is like $100,000 at like 12% interest. Like, bro, you're paying it.
Holy shit.
You're paying like $300. Like, you're paying like $1,500 every month for like 10 years to pay that off, which people do, and it's a career where you're gonna be able to make money. But like, dude, that would be terrible. Being in debt.
No
that
risk, no
much.
reward, brother.
Yeah. So that's why I'm back home. I'm like, I'm trying to do this without having as little as debt as possible. So, but yeah, student loans. I mean, 12K is a lot, but I mean, you make good money. You'll pay it
Yeah,
off.
I mean, I'm so comfortable. That's something that I learned super fast which we have dual income too, which
Yeah.
my wife makes the same amount of money as me, so that helps tremendously.
I mean, y'all are about to buy another house soon, right?
Yeah, we plan on it. And what I noticed super, super fast is that so many people live beyond their means.
Yeah.
Like you would hear people talk about all the time, like, oh, I only make $60,000. I cannot live on this. You probably can. You've just put yourself through like stupid things. Like you don't need that $2,000 a month apartment.
Yeah.
You're choosing to have those things, right? Which now some people put themselves in like careers where there's no advancement.
Yeah.
Like if you're a teacher, I think you need a different degree to become a principal or even a superintendent. Like I think
Really?
to become a superintendent, you need a doctorate.
Oh my gosh.
So like that's more money, more debt. So like most teachers, they stay teachers, right? Which I think is like the amount of impact that teachers have made on me. I think they deserve more money.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. That's something where I think that's a big issue we're having. So my girlfriend's mom's actually a teacher, and
What
I think
does she teach?
she teaches. I think she does like first grade. So I mean,
Like
it's
special needs. Those guys
No,
need way Coach Rob.
oh my god. I mean, and they're like the most patient, kind people. Like that's truly like, you are a great person if you do that from the kindness of your heart. Because
yeah,
a lot,
Coach Rob is the GOAT.
he's the goat. But like, I don't know, being a teacher, man, like they deserve way more, and it's crazy because like there's like a shortage of teachers now, and
Yeah, because they
they're-
don't pay him any money.
and
People
they're
do
raising
n-
the future of our. They
Yeah.
don't pay him shit. It's
people
crazy.
people go where they feel rewarded and they feel like they need to be,
Mhm.
which thank God there are people that still want to be teachers because I just talked to someone who follows me on Instagram
Yeah.
and because we were talking about how kids, which it's actually not true. Kids are actually still progressing as far as knowledge goes, but the majority of them have like brain rot now because
Oh my gosh.
not everyone can learn effectively online,
Yeah.
right? And you have a lot of these schools that are doing online learning and stuff like that, and that's holding kids back. But yeah, he was talking about how crazy it is. Like a lot of these kids aren't like super adept at reading, like they're behind.
Yeah.
And another thing too is like when they're at school, you can control them.
Yeah.
When they're at home, you can't force that kid to hop on the
Oh yeah, on the fucking
on the
iPad.
laptop, iPad, whatever to get her done.
I mean, it's crazy because I remember like we were kind of in that weird period where like we were taught cursive, like, or I remember doing cursive. They don't teach kids that now, and then I think we didn't even like start typing until, I mean, I think maybe like fourth, fifth grade we started like typing and shit. But like now, like my cousin, like I remember my baby cousins, they're like 10 and 12 around that age.
Mm-hmm.
They were able to navigate an iPad before they could read. They were able to go on like the iPad and unlock it, and they didn't even know how to read. And I'm like, that's crazy to me.
Which there's some good in that.
There is good,
right? Like they're understanding technology super super fast. But at the same time, it's like, dude, these kids are fucked, bro.
Yeah.
Like it is really cool when you still see kids like playing outside and stuff. But then you see a lot of kids that are just like, dude, come on.
Yeah. I mean,
and it's scary.
Yeah. I mean, like because like I really think that I'm so thankful that the period that we grew up in where we didn't have iPhones till like 6th, 7th grade. So we were going out playing, and even after the iPhones came out, still enjoyed.
Even in high school, when technology is essentially where it is now, we were still like, what was fun to us is like, hey, everyone, let's go to the fields and run 7-on-7, or let's go play soccer, or hey, let's go to Nick's Ranch and spend the weekend there. And we're not on our phones. We're outside and doing things like that.
It's scary, man. It's like I think that every time there's like a new advancement in technology, I'm like, fuck, we're one step closer to a Black Mirror episode.
That's scary stuff. I try and keep that as far out of my mind as possible, because you're always like one little takeaway from it happening. But I don't think, okay, that begs the question, do you think people are malicious naturally, or do you think that people are good?
I think naturally. I mean, I think it just derives from like the environment. I don't know. That's kind of dodging the question. I want to say people are always born mostly good. I think it also derives from the environment they're raised in and whatnot, and like if you don't have a lot growing up, I don't know. I like to think that people are naturally good, but also like there's people that are just born. I don't know. That's a hard question. What do you think?
I think the more that I think about it, I want to say people are born good, but then you just have these like natural impulses where like you want to, here, let me switch it.
Yeah.
So like I said, I want to believe that people are naturally good, but at the same time, you always have these like almost natural impulses where you're like, man, I'm angry today. And that it essentially comes from nowhere,
Yeah, but I mean, it's just about handling it, in a healthy way. I mean, I don't know. It's just, and we're in a really weird time again. Like, there's, this is very brand new where you're able to reach people from across the world and talk to, that's like that Mike Tyson saying, and people are becoming very comfortable with talking shit and not getting punched in the face. Like, especially the internet gives you see the beefs and stuff, and and then like with the gun violence and whatnot, like that's just something that's just like back in the day. I wish people just fucking battled it out with swords, katanas, and shit.
I think in Texas we can still do
duel.
I know, yeah.
No,
I'm pretty sure. I know for sure mutual combat is a thing.
To the death?
Not necessarily to the death,
but like
then that goes. But if I was to say, if we're out at a bar or something, and I say, hey Bronson, mutual combat. Or like, I don't think you would say that explicitly, but like if you both agree to fight,
yeah,
it's completely legal.
Yeah, I mean, I agree.
Now, if I'm like, hey, fuck you, buddy, and then you're like, hey man, I don't want any problem, then I hit you, I'm in the wrong.
Yeah,
which I get it.
But yeah, I mean, and like I just don't know, like I feel like back in the day there was more. Like you want to settle some fight, you know, be like take it like a man, like fight it out.
Okay.
Now it's like fucking pull a gun or some shit.
Yeah,
It's just too much crazy
people are
people.
pussies.
Yeah. I mean,
But if you had to go back to any time period and be like a badass,
mhm.
where would you go? And I'm gonna start this off by saying, everyone glorifies the Wild Wild West. Fuck that.
Nah, fuck that.
I'm not. That was some dirty times.
Yeah, that was like, yeah. I'd probably go back to Japan, like fucking samurai era
You'd be
before like
Tom
gun,
Cruise,
literally like
the last samurai.
before gunpowder. So like there was no any sort of gun, like it was bow and arrows, fucking katanas, and I would just be the fucking a ninja. I think that'd be so sick because like there was a
ninja
level
or a samurai.
a
I think
samurai, a
those
samurai.
come from different. Do those both come from Japan?
I don't know. I could, regardless. I don't
That's
know,
what you want to
actually.
be.
A samurai be just because like I don't know, just that way of life, like fucking I don't know. I feel like that's like ultimate badass.
They have so many good principles too.
Exactly.
Like they were like honor was everything, bro. Like
Mhm.
if I screwed over my family, gotta kill myself.
But that was kind of fucked too. It's like, damn, you make one fuck up. Yeah.
yeah, it's like, oh,
Damn.
dude, I spilled my parents' food. I dishonored my family. Yeah, that
And
was
like,
fucked.
but there was a mutual respect. Like even the enemy, even like when you captured like a captain of another samurai, I don't know what they call it, army or something, like they wouldn't kill you. You'd be like, yo, you want us to execute you or do you want to go out on your own? Fucking,
Yeah,
they'd let them, which I think was like,
yeah.
there was a level of respect.
Dude, so speaking of that, before I give you my answer as to where I would go, there was a time period, or I think it's still now, like they're not allowed to make swords or something anymore, like katanas or anything.
Really?
So that's why their knives, like chef knives and like pocket knives and all that stuff, are like the best in the world because they go from making the best swords in the world to like, hey man, because Japan's a super, from what I can tell, is like a super safe country.
Yeah.
Like you have the Yakuza and stuff, which I don't know how active Yakuza.
It's like the gangs, right?
Yeah, that's that's bad motherfuckers.
That's sick.
But so they're like, well, gotta make,
Gotta fucking.
it's the same thing as like after World War II, we were like, hey man, y'all can't make planes anymore.
Just banned them.
And so
They don't make planes anymore at all.
fuck no. Well,
guess.
not that I'm aware of. And so they started making like the same companies that were making planes switched to like automobiles and like like
Yamaha.
street bikes.
Is Yamaha Japanese or?
It has to be Asian. That's not an
Yeah,
American
Yamaha.
name.
Yamaha.
Yeah. But so dude, I think I would I think I'd be a Viking, bro.
Viking, that's a sick one.
They were just some of the coolest motherfuckers ever, and they were feared by everyone.
Yeah.
And they were just like a swinging dick.
Yeah.
Anywhere that they went, they took.
Yeah.
And there was some badass. Think about this right now. Can you name one samurai?
Fuck no.
Dude, we still talk about Vikings to this
That's
day.
true. I mean,
we still talk about, like, we've made movies about samurais, and there's a
Vikings are what? Where are they from? Scandinavia or
Scandinavia for
New,
broad.
just fucking, and they just
But you still talk about Bjorn Ironsides. You still talk about Leif Erikson. You still talk about like all these, like, I think Leif Erikson was a Viking.
yeah.
But you still talk about those guys.
And that's like fucking like when Brock Lesnar did his heavyweight, which was such a dope time in the UFC when he fucking switched from WWE and just took over the heavyweight division. Like when he's like doing his walk up that Joe Rogan's commentating and he's like, this dude's a fucking Viking. Like if this was 1,000 years ago, this guy would be coming to your shoreline on boat and you'd fucking run. Like,
Yeah, and he's gonna kill everyone that he wants to.
yeah, like that is a badass.
Think about it. Those dudes were the coolest motherfuckers. Which they did some terrible stuff.
They did.
Like
They did.
pillaging but dude,
I mean,
can you imagine? You just get on this longboat with your boys, and you sail to wherever your boat's gonna take you, and you pull up, and you're like, "This is mine now."
yeah, that was like, I mean, and that's the thing too. Like with like, the evolution of technology. Now we're, I guess, more civil, but back then it was like, damn, this is a sick part of, like, you'll have a fresh water. We're taking this bitch. Like, we're just gonna.
Yeah, this is mine now. And if you want to fight, we can fight.
Yeah.
And I promise you, I'm gonna win.
Yeah, I mean, maybe being a Spartan too would be fucking sick.
Spartans
like
were gay.
300, bro. They were gay.
Yeah.
but
Did
like
you not know about that?
they were gay.
Dude, Trojans and Spartans, gay. You can look that up. But the reason that they did it is because they thought.
Oh, they would like fuck each other to build that brotherly bond, right?
Yeah, it was like they thought if you fought alongside your lover, you would fight better, which,
I mean,
true.
I don't think maybe they weren't gay. That was just like a. I mean,
No, they were gay.
I said no homo before though. Like it
No, dude, I think sexuality was just a.
was more fluid back then. Maybe.
Yeah, it was different.
I mean,
they weren't like they were like masculine gay dudes.
Yeah, I mean those like the gay dude. Like I remember being at, and I don't have anything
Which
against gay.
that's scary.
Oh my gosh.
Have you ever seen a masculine gay guy?
Dude, I was literally at ACL like in high school, and there was a group of gay guys. I mean, and I don't discriminate whatsoever if you're
No,
gay.
dude, if you're gay, do your thing.
Yeah, but like these dudes were dancing, and I remember like some guy came up and said something to them, and they beat the fuck out of this dude, and I was like, holy, and not saying that like gay people can't like. Again, it's hard to not sound homophobic telling this story, but I remember being like,
Well, no, I
holy
don't think
fuck.
it's homophobic. If you hear a dude talking like a girl, I think my natural reaction is gonna be like, "Hey, man, I don't think this guy could kick my ass."
But they beat the fuck out of him, and so I mean, being a Spartan end of the day
Yeah.
would be fucking sick. Like
Yeah,
the
so think of that.
300.
But that was also a tough life. I think they yanked him away from their family at like
Yeah,
really young, 6, 7, maybe 8, 9.
yeah.
Young.
I mean,
Dude, if you at 9 years old, even 8 years old, if you yank me from my, I think I would die.
yeah. I mean, that's like in fucking in China, because I used to do diving.
Oh, I remember this.
Yeah, they would do like an aptitude test pretty much when the government would come through and test your child, and if it showed signs of like traits that it could be very well taught, the baby, they would take you from your family and then put you. And if you were in gymnastics, they break your legs so that you could be double jointed and do. Yeah, they do crazy shit. And like, there's some dude, like gymnastics.
But it works.
Yeah, I mean, in diving, like there's some crazy Asian divers that are insane. And I'm like, if you want to be good at anything, you got to just devote your life to it. So,
Dude, I have, one, because my wife is Asian, and two, because I just witness it. I have so much respect for Asian culture.
oh yeah,
There are, I mean, don't get me wrong, us as Americans, we're an amalgamation of all cultures, but like Asians, no matter what kind they are the most dedicated people
oh yeah,
you are ever going to meet, ever. You see them training in the gym, they're outworking you.
yeah,
You see them, like you said, in sports, they're outworking you. You see them in academics, and that's not a stereotypical thing. Asians will study harder than you. Asians will work harder than you, and that's because they are just the most devoted, disciplined people
yeah.
ever, bro. And they are like Asian bodybuilders, bro, are freaks.
Yeah, I've seen some crazy.
And it's because, dude, they go hard at everything they do, and that shit is so cool to me.
It's like in you see those videos of like in Asian countries where like they're leaving the subway and there's 2 staircases and like people are packed like sardines going on the right staircase to go up, but the left one is empty because everyone's going up. In like America, people would be fucking running. Everyone's living their own world, but in Asia, there's like a moral like respect that they have with just like the way of life. So like they're gonna take the harder path because they know like that's like the balance and fairness. I mean, there's a ton of things I see online about Japanese culture, and like when you visit there, be respectful. Like,
Oh yeah,
I think it's
don't
really
be
that's
Logan
something we don't
Paul.
have in the U.S. You have Karens fucking bitching, and
Yeah, dude,
are
they're
there Asian
chill.
Karens? Is that a thing? An Asian Karen?
Dude, we'd have to figure out.
Got to go to Asia.
So, if you had a one-way ticket, or not one-way, if I just give you a plane ticket to go to any Asian country right now, where are you going?
What's that place? Osaka, Japan, where they live to like be like fucking 100. They just like live off the earth. I think I'd go to like the Japanese countryside, I think, and just fucking live with the people and be like a little monk. Just fucking chill for a little bit. I don't know. Where would you go?
I'm going to Japan as well.
Japan?
It's so weird. It's how I felt about Italy too. Like something was drawing me there. Right now, I feel this like such a strong. I don't know much about Japan at all, but I have such a strong urge to go to Japan.
Yeah. I feel like it'd make you a better person. Like, I don't know what. Like, just for anybody. I don't know.
Yeah, and I feel like anytime you have that urge to go somewhere, you gotta do it, man.
Yeah. How much is a plane ticket to Japan? Tax?
Let's see. Let's look at Google Flights right now.
I'm gonna guess $1,500 one way.
One way. Okay.
I
Yeah,
mean,
we'll do
that's a
one way.
Fucking.
We'll do one way. Let's see. Google Flights is gonna find you the cheapest one too. Let's say Japan. We'll go to. Come on, dude. Tokyo. Let's just search. Okay, dude. If we were to go, so there's none until tomorrow. If you went tomorrow to Tokyo, it's $1,500. That's not that bad,
It's not that bad.
dude.
Those-
That's not that bad at all.
God, those pilots make some money. I feel like, dude. Fly to Japan.
Dude, wow.
I mean,
Wow.
how long is that flight? It's like a 15-hour flight, 12-hour.
Let's see.
I know. I went to Paris. I think that was like 9 or 10, maybe. From like New York,
So it says,
LA. I don't remember where I flew from.
dude, come on. If we're going for 1 week. How long is this? Well, it's not pulling up anyway, but we do know it's way cheaper than
Yeah, 1,500. So $3,000 a round trip, which is, I mean, not
dude,
terrible.
that's so doable. And I don't know how Japan is, but when I was in, Italy, stuff is cheap.
Yeah. Is it really?
Yes, dude. I never paid more than $50 for a meal.
And you were eating like fat
Dude,
shit.
I
but
went to 2 Michelin star restaurants.
Was it gas?
Best pizza I ever had in my life.
Really?
Yeah.
And it doesn't make you feel like shit, right? Because
Dude,
it's such.
That's something we're doing so wrong in the U.S. In most countries, they've banned like GMOs and stuff like that. And Italy is real big on like organic, locally grown, produce. And so that's why like their flour that they use for pasta and their flour that they use for pizza dough is unbleached, unrefined, like it's very minimal refined. That's why you don't feel like shit.
Yeah.
Everything is very minimally processed. Like, don't get me wrong, you still have, bad shit there, like you eating fried foods and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But dude, my wife and I would eat pizza, gelato, pasta every day, and you never feel bad.
I wish, man. I feel like shit
And
after I
it's-
done with pizza.
Yeah, dude. And then it's so cheap too. Like, you spend like no money on food, and you're like, in the U.S., this would be like $100.
Oh yeah. I mean, shit. We just went to Cava. That shit was like, I got a water cup. It was $16. You got double.
Dude, I get double chicken, and I spend $25.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean,
Like, what?
even Whataburger. I went there the other day, and the worker behind the counter was like, I was like, I got a double cheese with bacon, large fry, large drink. Came out to $18. I was like, are you kidding? I was like, is this for real? And she was like, yeah, honestly, you might as well just go to Five Guys. She's like, we raised our prices. I was like, God. I mean, I love Whataburger, but like, dude, what the fuck?
Man,
I mean,
Whataburger's so mid to me. And as a Texan, that's kind of sacrilege to say.
it's got, I mean, the level of.
But dude, In-N-Out smokes.
I mean, you don't. Have you ever been to P. Terry's in Austin?
Dude, they're building a P. Terry's. Where did I see that? Somewhere. Oh no, it's over in Richmond.
Yeah,
They're building a
Dude,
P. Terry's
that place
I'm
slaps. I mean, you drive through Austin all the time. That P. Terry's.
right there by the airport.
But there's a
which-
bunch. They're
Oh, there's a
everywhere.
ton.
Yeah, but yeah, there's one by the airport. They have the only thing that like even with In-N-Out, I have that same gripe is they're so small. I'll get fucking 2 burgers, and I'm like, damn,
Dude, that's why you gotta get 3x3 at In-N-Out.
3 patties.
3 patties, 3 cheese, animal style.
You eat 2 or 1?
One, I'm not getting 2 of those.
2 of the bitches, bro.
Dude, you couldn't.
How-
I would buy your meal
All right.
if you can eat 2 of those.
Single patty, In-N-Out. How many could you eat? One sitting.
Well, you do know In-N-Out allows you to put as many patties as you want to on a burger. You could say, hey, give me 10,
And they do it?
and they'll do it.
Same price?
No. I mean, you're gonna pay.
What is it?
You're gonna
Life
pay.
hack.
Yeah, right.
Can I get 12 patties?
Oh, shit. They're on to us. No. No, I mean, you're going to pay for them.
It's like a fucking
I think I could take down a 5 patty burger.
a 5 patty. No, I'm saying like single patty burgers. How many could you eat? You could eat more than 5.
No.
No?
I mean,
I don't know.
I've eaten multiple times. I've had 2 double doubles.
Okay.
Like that's a normal fucking occurrence.
And I guess the bread is really what fills you up.
I think with that logic, 4.
Okay.
To be realistic. How many Chick-fil-A nuggets can you eat, bro?
Oh my God, so many. My go-to Chick-fil-A order now is I need 2 sandwiches if I'm gonna be full. But
if I said, hey Bronson, I'll buy you as many nuggies as you can eat, how many Chick-fil-A nuggies are you housing?
I think I could knock 50 and I'd be sick. I think I could knock 50.
Well, dude, I've crushed a 30.
Yeah, but I think there's like,
dude, there's so much oil though.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, and even like I think 50, and I'd be fucking sick to my stomach.
Yeah, didn't
maybe
y'all
less.
used to do?
Maybe less.
Didn't y'all used to do the Chick-fil-A eating contest?
Yeah,
for
Young Life. Yeah.
What was it? What was like? I didn't. I
It was
never
just
went.
usually everyone's got to eat a burger, a large fry, and like an 8-count nugget. And
Every single person, or
yeah, each person had that, and then a cookie. And
I thought there was a team. Like
it was a team. So yeah, you're in a team, but you like, let's say I finished my burger or my sandwich, and you're still eating yours. Like you can break it off and give me some.
Oh.
And like I remember I got so high before that I literally, after the eating contest was done, I went to Chick-fil-A. I bought another sandwich. I was like, it wasn't a lot of food. Like, you know, we're grubbers. Like one meal, like large fries, like I'm gonna be hungry after.
So speaking of food, if you had to bring one historical person to dinner, who would it be?
I'd bring. It's a fucking hard one, man.
Or it can be someone right now.
Any point in time, like even present to past.
Yeah.
Do I like just to like feed them or like have a dinner with them?
No, you're eating dinner.
Fuck, I don't know. Who would you? I need more time to think.
Not cooking. Dude, I was kind of gonna base mine off of whatever you said, but I think realistically, I lean more towards like, dude, imagine like grubbing like in ancient Rome with Marcus Aurelius or something like that.
That'd be fire.
Like, y'all are eating like.
Oh, so you'd go back. You can go back in time. And
dude, you can go wherever you want. Imagine.
I'd go in. Oh, that's my bad. That is PJ. Oh. So you got about 10 left, but anyway, so we're gonna cut that, or is that gonna be?
No, dude. I'll edit around it. But yeah, dude. Imagine just eating like. Oh man, actually, their food was probably ass.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, who invented pizza? Rome. Romans.
That's what they say. No. Navels.
Navels.
They say it was invented by a like a queen, or it was invented for a queen, something like that. But dude, I
mean, we've been glazing Asian culture, but like, I think I'd go to like ancient Japan and just have a fucking delicious. Because think about eating fish from back then before we fucked the ocean. Before it's full of mercury. Exactly, like having a fresh tuna that was caught off the coast of like fucking Japan, and you gotta.
Do you think they even knew how to catch tuna like that?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, that's where sushi originated from, right? In ancient times. I don't think maybe they like. I think it wasn't like they're fucking fishing for tuna, but I think it's like
they like actually. Can you imagine being the first person to catch tuna?
You cut that. Okay, a tuna's fucking huge, right?
Depending on what kind. Yeah, like a yellowfin, that is massive.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Dude, like they can be 500 pounds.
Yeah. No, I don't know. Maybe I mean.
No way they had the tackle to catch that.
Probably not, but they were maybe fishing with net. Those dudes were smart. They were probably fishing with nets.
Yeah, that goes back to what we were saying. Yeah.
Like, I remember there's a video of like that, like they're like a tribe, and I don't even know if it's like, I think it's Indonesia, where they like their bones are so dense or something. They like walk on the. Have you seen those dudes? They hunt with like a spear.
No. What?
They can hold their breath for like 10 minutes, and they just like walk on the floor of the ocean and just fucking like, it's like hunting on, like they're walking on the ground. It's so crazy. You got to look it up.
Can you imagine being a fish and you see this dude walking in your home turf?
You're fucked. You're like, fuck. So they got Joey. So they're gonna get me too,
dude.
But yeah, I mean, like, I feel like, I mean, the ocean, we've absolutely fucking demolished. I don't know how long we have, but
See, that's crazy to think about because we still haven't even studied that much of it.
yeah, we haven't. I mean, it's like the human nature we fucking just destroy without, like, we're going to realize, which I don't know. But I mean, have you seen that thing where like we went down to the bottom of the Mariana Trench or whatever, like the deepest point in the ocean that we know of, and like one of the things we saw was a piece of fucking plastic, like
Are you
trash.
serious?
Yeah, like they were like they had like a camera, and like one of the things that we caught on that camera was like a fucking like a plastic bag. It's like, bro, like we fucked the ocean, and there's some weird shit down there. I mean, it's so, I think we only like discovered 5% of it.
See, I was talking to someone about that earlier, and they were like, "Oh no, that's old knowledge. Apparently, we've got more. But even if we've gotten more, there's no way we've cracked 10%."
Yeah, I mean, it's different. I mean, we use all these resources to go to space, but there's fucking a whole world of organisms under the.
Did you ever see that clip of Mexican OT on Rogan, where he was like, "Man, I think that we're looking for aliens in space. They're in the ocean."
Oh yeah, he's like, we already seen them. We just fucking. I mean, could be true. Could be true. I mean,
Reasonable doubt, bro.
that's like, bro. There's a great show on Netflix called Love, Death, and Robots. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't even heard
Dude,
of it.
it's pretty much each episode is like a short film. It's really fucking good. But there's one called Zima Blue, and pretty much this guy has like this suit of. He changes his body so that he can withstand any environment, and he just goes and explores space. And I'm like, that's fucking sick.
Oh,
Like,
so it's not real. It's
yeah, it's animated, but dude, it's a banger. Like you can go through the first 2 seasons really good. The third wasn't as good, but they're just short stories, and like they're fucking sick. But yeah, one of them's called Zima Blue. And I'm like, damn, that'd be so sick if I could just have a suit. I could go to the bottom of the ocean. I could go to the moon. This like, just like, I don't know. That sucks that we won't be able to.
ever get there.
Yeah.
No, I mean we'll get there, but we'll probably be dead.
Yeah, we'll probably be dead. They're sending a drone to the moon on Jupiter. I think that's like has like mountains and an ocean and shit. At least I think.
See, this is why we got to do more podcasts.
We do.
But yeah, dude. So since we only have about 3 minutes left, what's the wildest conspiracy theory that you can think of off the top of your head, so we can close this?
Okay. I love this. I love talking about conspiracies. The
You
wildest
got
one.
3 minutes.
I mean, isn't there one right now that like BlackRock is buying like fucking all the houses in the U.S.? Have you heard about that?
I feel like that doesn't sound completely foreign to me. So
They're
go ahead.
buying like I don't know the exact thing, but like BlackRock, obviously, like our economy is pretty much controlled by like BlackRock and a couple other companies. Like everything is like that's the parent company. It's fucked. But yeah, they're like buying all
So
the.
you've seen that guy on TikTok
Yeah.
where he like broke into it,
Oh yeah.
dude.
Wait,
So it's like BlackRock, and then like a few other companies, and then how they control everything
Yeah.
is they all own each other.
Yeah.
And
It's
so it's this big thing, and he made a flow chart or not a flow chart, a graph to show you, because it's really hard to wrap your head around just through text and us talking about it. But yeah,
no, it's crazy. I mean, like that's the thing too, is like there's no doubt that the world's being controlled by elite, but and then you hear about those dudes that like invent, like that guy that invented that car that could run off water and he fucking
dude,
just
I was
dies.
gonna bring that up earlier. That's like Dr. Sebi too,
Yeah.
the guy who had cured 2 people of HIV.
Oh, really? Died?
They died.
Suicide?
Dude, we're gonna be on a watch list now.
I know. I'm like
remembering.
low-key. I mean, it's talked about,
It's definitely talking about. They're not gonna find this one podcast.
they might, but they'll be like, fuck. They'll probably keep a little
Yeah,
tag
who
on
the
it.
fuck is this guy?
Yeah, but I mean, it's coming now to where like I remember back in the day, like I'd have my like conspiracies that I thought about, and then it's like you seem crazy, but now like things just coming more and more like normalized. Like I feel like it's kind of normal. Like the JFK assassination was 100% fixed, and that's the thing now where it's like it's well known, but it's not like it's fucking like no one's rioting. It's just like, oh yeah, it was fixed. The government killed him, but it's crazy that like it's not really. People know of it, but it's
Yeah,
not like
they have to desensitize you.
exactly. It's like The Simpsons with the fucking
Yep.
crazy.
Yeah. Apparently, to close it out. Apparently, there was another angle that was shown to a few people where you can literally see the driver turn around and shoot him.
Really?
Yeah, I forget what it was called. But yeah, so if you had to leave anyone with anything at the end of this podcast, Bronson, what would it be?
Fucking do your research. Don't ever take things at face value. Do your own research, other than TikTok and YouTube. And even then, you never know what to believe. But smash as many fucking chicken nuggets as you can in one sitting and leave it in the comments.
This has been the pod with Hadyn Paszkiewicz, my guest Bronson Bramlett.
Thank you for having me.
I want to thank you guys for listening to it, and we'll hopefully see you next week.
Yeah, more to come, dude.